Well, there he is, the Derby favourite. The Amy Victoria Derby favourite Scalato. After all the drama, he might just be wondering why he turned up at the mounting yard a little bit late to be saddled up. Doesn't appear too perturbed about life. You can't do much better than win, though, can you? Caulfield Guineas, Amy Vars, his spring campaign has been just outstanding. And Peter Donegan and Jenny Chapman, I think we need to clear the air of all the drama with a horse race. What do you think?
I think that's a very good idea, Tim, and we're going to do it with one of the oldest and most time-honoured horse races on the Australian turf calendar, Jen. As we said earlier, it dates back 6 years before the Melbourne Cup.
It's just a great race, and there's some fantastic three-year-olds in this.
And we're going to take a look at each and every one of them here in the mounting yard prior to the $1 million Amy Victoria Derby. Show Heart number 1. Damien Oliver is the rider for Barry Miller at Eagle Farm. He finished down the track, but so did a few others in the W.S. Cox Plate.
Behind the mighty Sunline, Peter. Yes, I think there was excuses for him there. He's a very, very good horse. I just wonder about the distance for him, whether or not he can get a strong 2,500. But Damien Oliver's on board. He's going to ride him forward, and he's there with the place chance.
There is the favourite and the horse that all the drama has surrounded, number 2, Scalato. Patrick Payne, the rider for Clary Connors. Barrier number 16. He's going to need to be good, but I think he is.
Well, he has shown that too, Peter. His last start at Moonee Valley, he led. He just kept finding towards the line. He's very, very classy. A lot of drama, but Barrier 16 needs a little bit of luck. If he gets that, Patrick will handle him very well.
Des Gleeson will be joining us after the race, the chairman of stewards, to explain what has gone on. Number 3, Universal Prince, Justin Sheehan, the rider for Bede Murray, chased home Scalato in the Amy Vars at Moonee Valley.
Yes, I thought his run 3 starts ago, Peter, was excellent when he showed a really good turn of foot to finish off the race and win at Randwick in the Champions Stakes. This horse, I prefer him on the real dry track, but he's done everything right and he comes into the race with a good each-way chance.
Darren Beedman has jumped in the saddle aboard 4 Reenact for Jack Denham, and this horse didn't have a lot of luck in the race at Caulfield.
No, he was wide. He didn't have any cover at all, so you can forgive him for that run. He's a bit of a one-pacer, and the rain effect is a little bit of a worry for him as well. I'd give him a place chance.
The track condition is also a concern for number 5, Sarsen Trail. Stephen Baster, the rider. Peter Hayes has already won a couple today.
His form out of the Moonee Valley race 3 starts ago, Peter, hasn't really held up for a race like this, and I was a little disappointed with him at his last couple of starts as well. I'm not all that keen on his chances here.
Number 6, Go Bent. Greg Childs, the rider for Neville McBurney. Didn't have the best of luck in that race at Caulfield, Jen, I didn't think.
No, and the start at Randwick as well, Peter, he was given every chance, and I thought it wasn't a bad effort there, but he finished 3rd on that occasion. But he's probably a place chance in this. I just think he might be 1 or 2 lengths off the best horse.
What a story it would be for Leon Corstens, who was suspended this time last year. 37-year-old rider Peter Mertens, if number 7, Royale Exit, was to win.
Well, he came from last to win the Norman Robinson, and I thought that was a pretty good effort there, but there was a lot of hard luck stories in that race, and that's a bit of a concern. I'd give him a place chance at best.
Have a look at this for an impressive individual. He is a lovely looking animal. Number 8, Falls the Shadow, trained by Paul O'Sullivan, ridden by Chris Muntz. Gate 1, he's going to get a lovely drag.
Yes, and he does give every indication that the 2,500 metres is going to suit him down to the ground. I think he's got a very good chance in this race. Absolutely no luck last start.
Sale of Century is the one you like. Larry Cassidy, the rider. John Hawkes, the trainer. He won the Derby 2 years ago.
I'm impressed looking at this horse, Peter. I think he looks terrific. He's nice and calm. He'll go into this race. Very fit horse, and he's been set for this race. All his runs have been terrific. I think he's got a great chance.
I reckon David Hall, Glenn Boss and the Connections will live up to the name if their horse wins. Number 10, Hit the Roof.
Well, he worked hard on the pace there at Moonee Valley 2 starts ago, and then I thought he had every chance there at Caulfield and just couldn't hold out the winner there. Don't know whether he's got the class, Peter. Maybe a place chance.
I'll get by. Number 11 finished 4th in the Geelong Derby trial, is saddled up by Gay Waterhouse, and Craig Williams is the man who takes the sit, but it's got a very wide gate.
He put in a nice, honest effort there in the Derby trial, but I just don't know whether he'll find this any easier. It's a tough race here. He's badly drawn in barrier 17, and I'm not all that keen.
David Edwards saddles up number 12, Shot of Thunder, and Nashra Willa takes the sit, and as you can see, he's at big odds all around Australia.
No excuses for him at Moonee Valley at his last start. His form has been okay, but not exceptional, and I prefer some others in this race.
13 Adolescents in the cerise colours going out with Brett Preble aboard for John Hawkes. $23.60, and he's not the worst by a long way.
No, I I didn't think there was all that many excuses for him at Caulfield, though, Peter. He had the run of the race and every chance there, but he's likely to go forward. Whether or not he can hold on, we'll have to wait and see. From 15, might be a little tough, maybe a place chance.
Can Lee Friedman find the winner's circle on one of the big days with Bush Padre number 14? Jimmy Cassidy is the rider. He's drawn a beautiful gate. He should get a lovely run, Jen, but is he up to this class?
Well, he's nice and relaxed. The crowd's not bothering him at all, is it? Look, 4 starts in a race. He's just done everything right. He keeps on improving, and he's certainly not out of it.
15 Comforts, another one of the John Hawkes runners. Neville Wilson, the rider. Nifty Nev.
Hard to find the necessary improvement for Comforts to win here. He really would have to improve quite a lot, and I'm not keen on his chances.
And number 16, Verbal, is the last one out. It goes out in the George Hanlon colours. Jason Patton is the rider. Gate number 14 for Verbal, and he's also one of the outsiders. That's number 16, Verbal, and there he is in the Diatribe colours.
Yes, well, he's a half-brother to Diatribe too, Peter, so that should hold him in good stead. However, I don't know that he's up to these. I'd really like to see him in something a little bit easier than this.
So there is the field of 16 heading out through the roses onto the famous Flemington track and heading up towards the barriers at the 200-metre mark. Let's have a look at the dividends as they stand at the moment for the Amy Victoria Derby. Super Tab, Show a Heart, $13.20. Scalato is $3.20, and he is the favourite all over Australia. Universal Prince at $7.30. Down to number 9, Sale of Century at $8.30. Look at the pool, $2.5 million the win, $1.5 million the place. That's Super Tab. $13 for Hit the Roof number 10. Big odds about the next few. Adolescents 23. Bush Padre certainly in the betting at $7.40. So they are heading to the gates for the Amy Victoria Derby. There are the selections. Sale of the Century from Jenny and Dan Malicki. It is Scalato from Richard Friedman, John Letts, myself and Gary Willits. And the drama has been quite unbelievable here prior to the start of the big race. The first of our 3 Group 1s, as we said, they start at the 200-metre mark, and the rundown of the first turn over the years has decided which horse has won and lost Victoria Derbies. For the national anthem, prior to the running of our big race today, here's our Master of Ceremonies, Rob Gaylard. Well, they're not quite ready. Scalato has caused a bit of a flurry in all of the activity around here. We are running a little bit behind. There's Bush Padre going to the gates, and there is part of the big crowd. Roy, this has been quite unbelievable, quite dramatic, hasn't it?
Derby day.
Oh, amazing stuff.
Poor old Clary Connors, I feel sorry for him. He looks a drained man.
He does.
You don't need these sort of things on a day like today. And we don't know the real depth of the whole thing yet, so it's not no good at talking about it. But I'm going for a bit of value in the Derby. Actually, I'm going with the 7, Royal Exit, on an each-way basis. He's a real street fighter, this guy. This is one that will get the distance. I marked him on top of number 2, Scalato. 10 Hit the Roof is a value horse. I like this horse. I think eventually he will be a real top horse. And 3 Universal Prince was the other one. Plenty of chances. I went 7, 2, 10 and 3.
So Royal Exit from Roy Higgins, former champion jockey. Let's go down to the betting ring and find out what's going on down there. Tim Gossage, any late moves?
Well, Pete, as soon as they found out Scalato was going to start, they came forward very strongly. It's clear-cut favourites, the only one they really want. But Sale of Century's been best back late in a couple of points. It's about a point under what it's showing on the tote. But at the moment, Scalato, all the rage.
Scalato, all the rage, but it was only a few minutes ago that we weren't even sure whether he was going to start. I think we can go down now for the national anthem prior to the Amy Victoria Derby, and our Master of Ceremonies is Rob Gaylard.
Ladies and gentlemen, the VRC welcomes you on Amy Victoria Derby Day. With great pleasure, we present Australia's leading lady of music theatre for the national anthem, Miss Marina Pryor.
Our home is good,
magnificent voice of Marina Pryor prior to the Derby, the Amy Victoria Derby, in front of this massive crowd. There's the new stand, the new members grandstand on the right. And we have in excess of 80,000 people here today. I'm sure a few of them around the racecourse are unaware of the drama that has surrounded that horse, Scalato. He's won the Caulfield Guineas, but it's generally accepted in racing circles that there has been an irregularity found in his sample after the Caulfield Guineas. Then he came out last week and won the Amy Vase. As these runners mill around, I'd like to bring in Gary Willits here for a chat, champion jockey himself. Gary, Patrick Payne, he's drawn a wide gate here. Does he have two plans, or does he know exactly what he's going to do?
Oh, I think you'd have to have two plans, Peter. From 16, as you know, you've only got about 120 metres to that first corner. And from 16, if you make the choice, if you go forward and they don't go hard, you're trapped out 3 and 4 deep. And your horse is over racing over 2,500 metres, you've got no hope of winning. And if you drop back, well, when I rode Jury one year, he ran second. Stormy Rex beat him, but I drew out there and I dropped him across, and I got runs everywhere, but a guy called Roy Higgins was too good on Stormy Rex and knocked me off.
Well, we've already spoken to Roy Higgins, Gary, and we've got another champion jockey, dual Melbourne Cup winning jockey John Letts aboard Banjo out behind the gates. The atmosphere must be incredible in front of these packed grandstands, Lettsy.
It is, Pete. I say a record crowd today, but gee, the horses look terrific. They're relaxed. Scalato looks, he's half asleep. He's just going to race very, very well. I don't think you give Patrick a hard ride. He was the one that I picked from down here. Reenact looked very well for Darren Beedman too. This horse is nice and relaxed. The couple of them are fired up, but in the order, that's how I like him, Pete. I just think Scalato looks terrific down here, and very relaxed horse, and I think he knows he's got the job.
And they're just about right to the commentary box. Dan Malecki.
Group 1, Amy Victoria Derby. I'll Get By to link up. Favourite Scalato, number 2 at $3. $6.60 for number 3, Universal Prince. I'll Get By goes into the line. Set to go. Short run to the winning post and then one lap. Locked away. And they're ready to race. And they're racing. Sail of Century was slow to begin. Scalato out wide, jumped out well. He's going up forward. Shot of Thunder and hit the roof away quickly. Go Bent, and also wider out was Comforts racing up to the lead at the winning post the first time. It's Go Bent and also Comforts taking up the running from Hit the Roof. Shot of Thunder, and then Adolescence, and Scalato's 4 deep pressing forward. Bush Padre up into about 7th spot. On the outside of Falls the Shadow, then Show a Heart, Universal Prince, midfield the rails. 3 wide, I'll Get By. Verbal posted out 4 wide at the 2,000. Then Royale Exit. Back on the inside, Sail of Century. 2 lengths to Sarsen Trail, and Reenact is 2 lengths away last and about 15 lengths off the lead. In front is Comforts, dashing out to a 2-length break. Of Go Bent second. 3 lengths to Scalato up to third. 4th over on the inside, Shot of Thunder. Another 2 lengths to Adolescence. Then Hit the Roof, who's 6th on the rails. Verbal posted 3 wide. Falls the Shadow back on the inside. And then came Show a Heart. Over on the inside of it, Universal Prince. Bush Padre in the red and black colours is midfield just ahead of Show a Heart and Universal Prince. Next is I'll Get By. They were followed by Shot of Thunder down on the rails, who's racing third last at the moment. Getting up around him, Royale Exit. 2 lengths second last is Sarsen Trail. 1.5 lengths to Reenact last, and still about 15 lengths off the lead. Heading to the back of the course with about 1,200 metres to travel in the Amy Victoria Derby. And the Bolter Comforts in front. Leads by 2 lengths to Go Bent. Another 2 lengths to Shot of Thunder on the inside of the favourite Scalato. 1.5 lengths to Adolescence. Outside Hit the Roof. Verbal's never been on the track. It's 3 deep. Bush Padre's trying to get a run between runners, and then Falls the Shadow. I'll Get By. Show a Heart, Universal Prince, Royale Exit, then Sail of Century, Sarsen Trail, and Reenact is still last of all. 800 metres to go, and it's Comforts by a length. Go Bent in second spot. 3 lengths to Shot of Thunder on the inside. Scalato running fourth. 2 lengths to Adolescence coming into it. Hit the Roof is back on the rails. Verbal losing ground. Royale Exit switching around it. Bush Padre between runners, and then Falls the Shadow. Back along the inside was a Universal Prince. Show a Heart back behind them from Sail of Century. Into the home straight. Go Bent, Shot of Thunder are coming in after Comforts. Scalato bump with Hit the Roof is into the clear. Go Bent went to the lead. Hit the Roof came after him very solidly though. And now Falls the Shadows into the clear. Hit the Roof loomed up to hit the lead. It's a length in front of Falls the Shadow. Universal Prince back on the rails, but Hit the Roof dash clear. It's 2 lengths in front. Scalato, Universal Prince, and Falls the Shadow, but it's Hit the Roof. Hit the Roof wins the Derby by 3 lengths. Universal Prince second, third place Falls the Shadow. Then Scalado and Sail of Century. Next home would have been Comfort, who was a good run. From Go Bent Royale exit behind those, and then came Shot of Thunder, Reenact, Bush Padre, Show a Heart. I'll Get By, Adolescent, Sarsen Trail, and Verbal had a tough run, and he knocked up and finished at the tail of the field.
Yeah, beautiful ride by Glenn Boss. Drew 2, hit the roof, very good. Look, I tell you what, Paddy Payne's ride on Scalado was beautiful, Dan. He got over, he saved every bit of ground, got over to one off the fence from that 16 barrier, but the horse just didn't stay the distance. But, gee, you can't take anything away from the winner. And Universal Prince was a very good runner, got home very good.
We often see it, we saw it in the 2,500 metre race before. The horses that race on the rails, behind the leaders, on the rails, they ran 1, 2 in the South Quantity, and those 3 horses who run the placings all were on the rails, midfield, getting cushy, cosy runs.
That's the thing, that's the whole secret of horses racing over ground, and they get that beautiful run.
Okay, the Amy Victoria Derby's worth $1 million. Mark Aston has one of the winning connections.
Yes, Rosemary thinks her hat's all squash. Rosemary, that's about the last thing you need to worry about. One of the yes, you need to buy a new one. Actually, it's a beautiful hat. Congratulations!
Thank
what
you
a
very much.
wonderful,
very,
wonderful.
Very exciting. We're absolutely thrilled. We're so exciting. That's my husband, and we are so excited.
And this is what's your name, sir?
Bob Scarborough.
Bob, congratulations. How are you feeling? Your wife's very excitable.
Excited. I'm trembling.
Are you really?
I am.
And what about the runner? Terrific ride.
Fantastic, unbelievable. He got him out exactly as we wished. A little bit further back than we'd hoped, but he swamped them in the end, ran right away from them. So it was fantastic.
Okay, congratulations. Have a great night. Thank you. Back to you, Peter.
Thank you, Mark Aston. David Hall, the winning trainer. Congratulations, mate. All those early mornings have just become worthwhile.
It's amazing. This race is it's a pretty special race, and just emotional. It's unbelievable.
I don't blame you. Great ride too, wasn't it?
Yeah, the barrier drew him in a fair bit, and it's a great staying horse, you know. It's just... I'm a bit stuck for words, guys. It's fantastic.
Is this your greatest moment?
I think it'd have to be, yeah. Definitely.
A lot of expectations on you coming into this carnival because of what you did last year. You had a great Derby day last year. This was even better.
How can that happen, Pete? How can you better last year? It's just... I think the expectation, it's sort of, we haven't been flying this year, so we've been going okay, but pull this off today, everything's gone right with this horse's preparation, and to win it, it's a pretty special race. Over the moon.
A lot of people very pleased for you, mate. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
David Hall, let's go out to the winning rider, Group 1 Glenn Boss with Johnny Letts.
Well, Pete, what about this? We've got 2 champions together. We've got Andrew Hoy, who rides for the Scarboroughs in the Olympics, and we've got Glenn Boss, who rides for them on racetrack. So, Glenn, you first. What an outstanding effort, this horse.
Well, that was a gold medal performance, especially by David Hall. What a great training effort, and it's great to have special Andrew here to share this great moment with me, because he's an absolute champion himself.
And Glenn, Andrew said earlier when you're coming back, he said, I should give him the gold medal. I said, well, you tipped it this morning, so you deserve it.
That's about as close as I'll get to a gold medal, but it feels good and looks good.
Congratulations, Glenn. Another great and another group win race for you. And Andrew, the gold medal.
Good on you, Letts.
Have a look at this, Pete. Andrew's going to put the gold medal on Glenn.
Oh, fantastic.
He said that's the closest he'll ever get to one.
There you go. Look at that. He is a gold medalist today because he's won the big one. The Amy Victoria Derby, and Glenn Boss takes the gold medal from Andrew Hoy, and he's got plenty of them to spare because he's won 3 of them. And there he is, Group 1, Glenn Boss coming back to scale, and we'll watch him do that in a minute. The replay shows that this was a magnificent ride, but before we take a look at that, let's enjoy this moment with Glenn Boss. He's a wonderful rider. He's ridden more than 20 Group 1 winners. He can match it up there with the best of them, and he rode a beautiful race today. The horse was positioned in a race that wasn't overly quick, but he knew that he had the horse underneath him when he brought the horse with the run at about the 400-metre mark, and he's just run away from them. No excuses for Scalado. He was ridden a beautiful race by Patrick Payne. He got across cheaply. Running on hard at the end of the race was Universal Prince. But now, the first of the features. In the year 2000, Glenn Boss brings Hit the Roof back to scale for David Hall as the winner of the Amy Victoria Derby, one of the oldest and proudest races on the Australian turf calendar. And of all the 146 runners, runnings of this race, I don't know whether we've ever seen a jockey come back to scale with an Olympic gold medal hanging around his neck. But Glenn Boss, it might be a first, and it's a day he's going to remember for a long time. Wasn't it great to see the emotion from David Hall? As we said, he had a very big day here last year. He had 4 very big days, and I've never seen him quite that emotional, and well, he might be, because this is one of the most cherished prizes in Australian racing. Let's go back and relive some of the moments of this race. There is the winner, Hit the Roof, about to make his run. That's Scalato in the red and green colours and the blinkers on the outside of him. Going up is Go Bint to make a big charge after Comforts, which had set the pace. Universal Prince is the horse in the yellow colours going back to the rail. Purple Cap starting to run on, but at this stage, Boss knows that he's got plenty of horse underneath him, and that's where he went for it. And look at the way he finds ground. That's what the good horses do. When they're asked, they find a length and a half. And away goes Hit the Roof. He had the race won in the twinkling of an eye. Universal Prince running on very well for second. Falls the Shadow. Lovely ride. He was given every possible chance from barrier 1, and he's run on to finish third. Here it is from the inside of the track. Now, this is where the split-second decisions count. You can see that Boss at this stage is urging his horse up onto the outside of the leaders. Now, he's got to be careful because he doesn't want to go too soon, because this Flemington Straight is a long, long way. But now he decides that this is the moment of truth. And off he goes. And they've got about 300 metres to go there. And Glenn Boss is confident. Out comes the whip, and he goes for home, and he finds around about 2.5 lengths on them at that stage. And just a quick look around to see if anything was coming down the outside. He would have heard the roar of the crowd, and he knew that the Derby was all but his. Hit the Roof, trained by David Hall. This horse, which we're about to look down from up above by Maroof out of Good News. Ideally drawn in barrier number 2, and there is the view from the Hertz blimp. And look at the opening that he's taken there. Inside Scalato, again, he just knew that he was travelling. Scalato not going all that well at that stage. Falls the Shadow in the gold colours over on the outside. And now the decisive period of the race where he dashes away. A lot of tired horses at the end of that race. Quite a few of them were beaten a long way from home. It was a bit of a muddling run race, so the horses up the front were probably going to be favoured, and that's the way it turns out. And you can see the margin was pretty decisive at the end. Andrew Hoy, he'll get his gold medal back, but he's pretty happy with the connections. Hit the Roof is the AAMI Victoria Derby champion of 2000. We'll take a break and be back at Flemington after the first of our Group 1 features in just a moment. Dramatic AAMI Victoria Derby of 2000. There's a shot from up in our Hertz blimp. Always love those. Gives you a great perspective. There it is, the Hertz blimp. Glad to see this thing being called by the right name for a change. It's a blimp. We're after correct weight, and I think we'll be pleased to see this signal after everything that's surrounded the Derby of 2000. Mr. Gleeson is about to give it to us. He's happy. Correct weight is there. That means Danny Malecki, dividends, please.
Yes, Tim, the winner Hit the Roof, $14.50 and $3.70. Universal Prince, $2.40, and Falls the Shadow paid $3.80. Quinella, $47.20. Exacta, $102.30. Trifecta, $1,077.70. And similar dividends in New South Wales and Queensland. And the Quinella paid $47.20. Fourth in the Derby was number 2. Fifth in was number 9. Favourite just missing the place, Scalato. Good effort. And Tim, I noticed there was a nibble for Hit the Roof a little bit late in the betting ring there.
Yeah, Dan, not an absolute cleaner for the bookmakers. Some of them hit hard at longer each way odds, and yes, you are right, that was one of the better horses back late in Hit the Roof, but they certainly got plenty with Scalato out of the money. In the next, there's 3 horses all about the same in favouritism. Sky Heights is one of them. Also, Oliver Twist has opened up favourite, and down the bottom, Hill of Grace. But so far, so good for the bookies.
All right, thank you, Tim. There's your full field results, how your horse fared from Hit the Roof, Universal Prince, Falls the Shadow, Scalato, down to Verbal. And that's how they finished in the AAMI Victoria Derby for the year 2000 after all of the drama. Waiting for our presentation to be ready. And Dee won like a good horse, didn't he? Hit the Roof. And as we've said, You look at the history of this race, 146 runnings of the Victoria Derby. Great horses, Farlap, Tulloch, Dulcify, Mahogany have all won this race. And Peter Donegan, after all the drama, you need a nerve settler. Can we get you something from the bar? You're right.
Oh, not just yet, Tim, but I'll certainly take you up on that a little bit later on after 5 o'clock. Wasn't it great to see that man Andrew Hoy hand over the medal, because there is a connection between him and the owners of Hit the Roof.
Yep.
And I think he was delighted to hand over the gold medal to Glenn Boss as he came back to scale. It was great to see, Jen, wasn't it?
It was, and Glenn Boss, what a great ride it was.
Yeah, he's a very good rider. He,
is he ever?
I think he gets mentioned now in the upper echelon, but he's been in the upper echelon for quite a while. A couple of runs in the race I'd like to make mention of. I did mention Scalado. The one thing I liked about him was the fact that I thought he was a beaten horse at the 300, yet he just kept on going, kept on whacking away.
He sure did, and my choice in the race, Sail of Century, got a long way back, Peter, and only really got going the last 300 metres. I'd say maybe next year he's going to make a very good stand.
And Chrissy Muntz rode the perfect race on Falls the Shadow for a 14-1 chance and just put it to sleep on the rail, got out at the right time, and the horse ran into the placings.
And the very consistent Universal Prince, he went terrific, didn't he?
He did, yep, got that run up on the inside. So all in all, it was a dramatic derby before the race began, and well, thankfully there hasn't been too much drama afterwards. All we're doing is just applauding the effort of the winner, Hit the Roof, and his trainer David Hall, who I know you're pretty good mates with, and I'm sure you'd be delighted to see that.
I was, and I've never seen David so emotional. What a great thrill for him to win the Amy Derby.
Well, he's up there on the dais now, along with the connections of that horse Hit the Roof, for the presentation after the Amy Victoria Derby 2000. Our Master of Ceremonies is Rob Gaylard.
Thank you very much, Peter. Ladies and gentlemen, just while we're awaiting our triple gold medalist and Mrs. Linda Keane, the wife of the Chief Executive, Mr. Brian Keane, are about to sash our Derby winner, Andrew. I called you with Linda to do that, and congratulations. Wonderful to have you here on Derby Day. It gives me great pleasure while that's happening, ladies and gentlemen, to interview or to bring together here Mr. Andrew Ramsden, the chairman of the VRC, to begin our presentations.
Your Excellency, the Governor, General Sir James Gomberg, Lady Gomberg, Minister for Racing, the Honourable Bowles, the Lord Mayor, Lady Perez, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Flemington for Amy Victoria Derby. Amy Derby Day.
Unfortunately, we do have some problems with the microphones here at Flemington. The public address system is not available to us at the moment, but we might keep an eye on that, especially for the handing over of the trophy. Mr. Andrew Ramsden, the chairman of the Victoria Racing Club, is speaking at the moment. And there's Hit the Roof, just meandering around the mounting yard with the Amy Derby rug on, as though nothing's really happened. He's got the sash on as well, and he's just earned for his connections $650,000 and a trophy of $5,000, which is about to be handed over by Mr. Brian Keane, the Chief Executive Officer of Amy, who have been wonderful supporters of racing, especially here at Flemington, Jen, on Amy Victoria Derby Day. They've sponsored it for quite a few years now, but also the lead-up races, the Amy Vars, and they do support racing heavily all around Australia.
Yes, it's great to see good sponsorship in racing, and a well-deserved winner there. He's a nice horse, isn't he?
He is a nice horse, and he's even nicer when he's got that rug on him.